Warning. The following podcast contains adult themes, including, but not limited to, adult language, adult dragon animorphs, problematic encounters with potential love interests, steampunk vampires, potentially unhealthy relationships, goblin kings, and hosts that read way too far into silly romance novels. The opinions expressed in this podcast are entirely those of the hosts. Listener discretion is advised.
From the inside out, so I can see myself from the inside.
Hello, and welcome to Textual Tension, a love-hate relationship with romance novels. I am your co-host, Rachel.
And I'm your co-host, Margie.
Every other week, one of us summarizes a romance novel for our unsuspecting co-host, and we review and unpack what the fuck just happened. So this week, I, Rachel, get to tell you, Margie, about...
I'm so excited. I'm doing my little listening to romance dance. It's a great little dance.
It's a legitimate dance.
It's a legit dance.
Yeah, so I'm gonna, oh baby, I'm so excited. So a little bit of background real quick on this novel before we really get into it, because I feel a little bit like we cheated. Friends and listeners, we were recording this like a week after we did our last one.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a quick turnaround. So I had to get a book that I could, kind of blast through. And it ended up being perfect because I ended up being sick for 2 days this week, like with a cold. So I spent one of my sick days on the couch for like 6 hours just reading this book. Are you ready for this?
I'm so ready.
So I feel like I cheated.
Okay.
Because there are 2 lost episodes that we've never put out.
Oh, no!
This one is from the series that I read for the lost episodes.
Oh my god!
I'm handing her the physical copy of the book.
Oh my god. So, listeners, the title of the book is called Blaze. Actually, the title is larger than the author's name.
Hallelujah.
Which is shocking. It's Blaze, a Dark King's novel. Oh my god! And it's got I'm assuming a dude's back.
I would hope so.
Very muscular back.
I kind of hope it was a chick.
I'm looking...
Oh, is he? Couldn't tell.
Well, here's the thing. I'm looking at this cover probably more closely than I should.
Well, duh.
It's
our job.
But, it's not that he's wearing pants, it's that he just kind of disappears at the waist.
his pants are the void.
So he just kind of becomes it's like Danny Phantom from the waist down. He just kind of disappears.
Oh my god, Danny Phantom.
And then he's got this dragon yin and yang tattoo on his back.
I'm glad you picked that up because I didn't when I first looked at the novel, the cover. I didn't pay enough attention to notice that until they actually spell it out in the book.
Oh, and don't forget about the sparks and the fire Photoshop that was put over the image.
Yeah, and it's all kind of this sepia gray kind of color.
Greenish gray. Yeah. It's not quite sepia,
a color beyond description.
But the fact that he just disappears from the waist down really is just the cherry on top.
That says something about his personality.
All right, so again, it's called Blaze by Donna Grant.
Which says nothing about the book.
Nothing. So what the frick is with this name? Okay,
I've been saying Anson.
Okay, Anson.
I don't know if that's right. It's a Scottish thing. I don't know.
Okay, here comes the summary. Anson is a fierce dragon king, a dragon shapeshifter, #animorph, born and bred to protect his own, but when a rogue tech company, hacks into their world, he must join forces with the unlikeliest of allies, a human female. Has he never met a human in his life?
He has.
Okay.
He just refers to them as females.
Oh, God,
which is not wrong.
No, it's not wrong, but it's also
weird.
Grouping together half of a whole species into one subsect and basically calling them the same... That's stupid. I hate it. Okay. Her name is Devon Abrams. Devon, that's right. Devon. Blech. Her name is Devon Abrams. A rising star at the firm, she has no idea that her boss is in league with the sinister Fae, and their secret war against humanity. #Jareth. If Anson,
that's what I said.
Anson?
Hell if
Okay.
I know if it's right.
If Anson gains her trust, he can defeat the enemy from within. But first, he must fight his own attraction to this exquisitely beautiful mortal. Devon loves her job at the firm, but sometimes she wishes she could find a real man.
That comes up.
Okay, I love how she, mentions a real man, but he's a fucking animal.
He's a dragon! He's not even a man!
Okay, Mushu was 100% man.
Yeah, that's fair.
Who isn't threatened by her success. When she first meets Anson, she's overwhelmed by his powerful masculine presence and disarmingly gorgeous smile. I'm sorry, I'm really struggling here, guys. But when he reveals his true mission and his ability to transform into a dragon, she's irresistibly drawn into an epic battle between humans and immortals, magic and technology, danger and desire. Anson vows to protect her from the Fae, but can he control the flames and passion that blaze within his heart?
There's the title.
Oh, there's so many things. There's so many things. I say as I beat my book against this book against my leg.
Right?
So
again, I feel like I'm cheating a little bit, but I couldn't not bring the dragon animorphs to the world.
Right.
I just had to. Honestly, I wanted to see the difference between the one I read before and how another one in the series kind of played out. So initially, kind of off script, or off books, I had asked what the Dark Highlander series that you had, or the Highlander thing that you'd read.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's because she has another series called The Dark Highlander.
Oh, she does?
Yeah, and so...
Wow, what's that one about?
I'm guessing a Highlander. It's probably nighttime. But, so the reason I picked this book is because I read the back of it. I picked it up and I'm like, oh, that's from the same thing. I won't read that. And then I looked at the back and noticed it was about a tech company.
Oh
and
my god, that's
I had
right.
to.
You asked me. You told
to.
me that this had to do with hacking.
I had to.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, oh my god.
Oh, I think this guy is wearing pants.
No, look closer.
Well, there's a distinct line, though, before it fades into oblivion.
See, I don't think so. Let me see it again.
I think there's a distinct line.
Well, there's a distinct line down here, but
yeah.
Look, if you look from here to here, there's no difference. There's no line right here that suggests that he has pants.
Well, and if we're really looking at it, that man's hips should not be that long.
Let me see. Wait, no,
they're just man, those are some low-rise jeans, if that is.
Well, he's got
pants.
that Dorito shape going on.
My favorite description of the human body. Dorito.
He's got Dorito shape, so
Hey, Doritos, hit us up.
It's that... Doritos sponsor us. Do you think he's a cool... I think he's... This really looks Cool Ranch.
I don't know, I'm thinking sweet and spicy.
Well, he definitely has that, not sweet and spicy, but, nacho cheese.
Chipotle.
Nacho cheese.
Maybe some Chipotle ranch.
Okay.
So, alright, so Goodreads, real quick, before we get super into this, trigger warnings in this one, there's actually, there's some kidnapping that happens, there's some, a little bit of, torture kind of stuff that happens, and then... yeah, I think that's about it. There's not really... There's maybe a sprinkling of sexual assault.
There's always that little light powdered sugar dusting.
Yum. Really finishes it off.
It's what we love. No,
Great.
it's not. It's awful.
It's not. It's awful.
We hate it. We hate it so much.
I'm sorry, guys. My coping mechanism is humor. So when we talk about unfortunate things, I make bad jokes. It's my bad. Yeah. So, I think that's about it, though, as far as trigger warnings go. So I think we're good. If there's something else comes up, I'll pop in with it. Okay. So Goodreads actually has 4.4 out of 5 on Goodreads.
That's... My eyes are wide. That is surprising.
Not the rating I would give it.
Okay.
But it's... So I've noticed this, actually. The books that we've read that have had not as great reviews usually involve, some serious, kind of sexual assault overtones and, like, really not okay, problematic stuff.
Yes.
This doesn't have that. So immediately it puts it in the 4 and above tier of romance novels, which is so depressing!
Yeah, it's really depressing.
But that's my assumption.
Oh,
it's not...
It's kind of like they're, with stuff like the Nymph King, which, go back to the first episode, guys.
So
it was like there were so many 5-star reviews, which is horrifying. It was, but they drowned out all the 2 and 1 stars reviews that were, the few ones that were out there.
There's a couple lower, like, reviews, but most of them are in the 3s and 4s.
Okay.
So, who knows? Alright, so... by now, if you guys have listened to us, you know how I like to structure this. If not, hey, this is how I like to structure this. I like to go over what the characters look like, and then we'll get into my different scenes of the book. So, Devin Abrams, she's brunette, kind of shoulder-length hair, rockin' body.
Of course. And I'm sure she doesn't work out or do anything to eat healthy to get that body.
She walks. She goes for walks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, great. And she has pale blue eyes.
She's a fucking special snowflake.
She's a special snowstorm. Yeah.
A snow blizzard.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
So yeah, she has pale blue eyes. This is specifically for Margie. I counted. They only used the word celadon once. In the last book I read, they used the word celadon 14 times.
That is a gym name. It is not...
Right, just to describe a dude's eyes. They only described his eyes once as celadon in this one, because he does come out.
So
it's the same world.
do they describe his eyes multiple times, or do they only describe his eyes once and they're described as celadon?
They only describe his eyes once as
God.
celadon. In the last book, they described them 14 times as celadon.
Yeah.
God. Yeah. Maybe that'll be released at some point. Who knows? But they only did it once this time.
Crossfire. Hashtag crossfire.
Anson, who does not have... I don't think he has a last name. Just Anson.
Okay. Well, isn't he
Anson,
like thousands of years old?
Dragon Boy.
Dragon Boy.
With an I.
Wait. What was that show in... Well, we were in grade school. It was about the kid who could turn into a dragon, and Zuko was the... Yeah, there was a show, and okay, now I have to look it up.
Margie, Google something. While you Google that,
I'm gonna look up Zuko Dragon.
Oh, God. So, you're gonna get a lot of Avatar stuff for that. So while Margie Googles that, so Anson has long black hair.
God damn it.
Which, it seems like most dudes, like, any dude that you want to get across as being, like, super, like, hyper-masculine or whatever, or, like, a warrior, always has long hair. And fucking black eyes. What is up with black... I'm sorry.
Ooh.
Onyx orbs.
Or, wait, what? That's how they're described as onyx orbs? That's a...
Uh-huh.
I'm imagining also, like, this is so stupid.
Just completely black is what I'm imagining.
Well,
no white whatsoever.
Yeah, exactly. But also, I'm imagining, like, Pokemon coming out of his eyes. Like, Onyx Pokemon.
Oh, God. Well, congratulations. You've now given me nightmare fuel. But, okay. Oh, no. Well, okay. Now I'm uncomfortable. This book didn't do it, but that did. Also, I'd like to mention that there was another dude in this book that I thought of you immediately when I read his description.
Oh?
Because guess what color his eyes were?
Golden!
Yeah!
God damn it! Freaking golden eye trope!
I feel like black eyes might need to go in with this now. Like, we might have to jump in with the black eye trope now, too, as well.
Yeah,
That's become a thing.
Absolutely. I mean, black eyes, though, usually signal bad guy, though, whereas golden eyes signal good guy.
Good guy. Well, actually, it's the opposite in this.
Really?
It is.
Okay,
so at least we're going against something.
Against something.
Nothing great, but something. All right, so, did you figure it out?
No, I'm still looking.
Okay, we're going to cut in the middle of this. Like, it's this!
Why am I struggling so much to find... It was called, like, Jack something.
Oh! I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes, right?
Oh, God. I know, because it kind of reminds me...
Jack Dragon or something like that.
Yeah, because it reminds me of,
wait, here we go.
Show.
American Dragon Jake Long. That's what it is. I only watched, like, 2 episodes of it, and I was like, this is kind of lame. But then Avatar The Last Airbender came out, and that's just, like...
the most perfect piece of animated cinema ever.
Exactly.
Yeah. If you think otherwise... You're entitled to your opinion. Fight me. Anyway. Okay, so, scene 1. So, we kind of open with Anson and 2 other girls.
Oh, no.
No, they're already taken. They're spoken for. It's fine.
Oh,
But
okay.
Kinsey and Esther, because who needs normal names?
I mean, I can't talk. My name is Margie.
Well, if your name's Esther, I'm sorry. If your name's Kinsey though, let us know, because that's a cool name.
I thought that you said kimchi for a second.
No, she's not named after fermented cabbage.
That's actually a drag queen's name though. Kimchi.
I'm not surprised for some reason.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they open on them sort of like spying outside of Kyvor, which is a terrible name for a tech company, but whatever.
Okay.
How do you
spell that? I'm sorry.
Kyvor. Kyvor.
Okay.
Doesn't have anything to do with...
My face is very confused.
Yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with any tech words I know. So it's a tech company that's spying on... You ready for this?
Oh, I'm so excited.
Dregan.
Oh, our good friends over at Dregan, what up?
So Dregan is, again, I feel like I cheated a little bit because Margie knows a little bit about this world from the Lost episodes. That's what we're referring to them forever. So Dregan is this place, which it is officially spelled out in this book. It is in Scotland.
Oh,
and
okay, good. Now we know.
It is a company that makes whiskey. So they are like, they have this land that is their land, and on this land, in order to stay relevant, I guess, quote unquote, air quotes, they've been manufacturing whiskey for hundreds of years, and that's like their cover.
They don't live in Kentucky and make bourbon?
It's Scotch, because they're Scottish.
Right.
But they named their fucking company the the Celtic word for dragon.
Well, I don't think that that's that weird, though. Like, companies... Well, okay, so people will name stuff after, like, Greek gods and goddesses all the time.
That's fair, but that's a little on the nose.
It's on the nose, but who is gonna guess, hey, you know what? This company is called Dragon. That means dragon, so therefore there must be dragons.
All dragons.
We better go in and see Mushu.
Well... You joke, but that's happened in previous books.
It has, but I'm just like, that's not the first thing people would guess in a normal world.
So, Kyvor is spying on Dregan because they know what's up with Dregan.
Oh, they know that they're dragons.
They know.
Okay.
It is heavily implied that they know. It is
heavily implied as if they're beating the dead horse with a bat. Heavily
implied in the same way that a brick applied to your head heavily implies a concussion. Heavily implied.
Whack!
Right. So they're trying to get into this company and, like, kind of figure out what the company knows and, like, what information they have on Dregan. So Kinsey, you ready for Special Snowflake Syndrome?
Ooh.
We are in the midst of a special snowstorm.
Does she have another book series? I wonder if she does.
All of these are previous books in this series.
Oh, right.
All these split characters.
Okay.
So Kinsey used to work for Kyvor, is a hacker.
Okay. I'm sure she's a legit hacker, too. Backed by
her, and I'm using this word as they are doing the book, her mate is...
Oh!
You just had a physical reaction to that. It's awful.
I hate that word. Okay, add that to the list. I hate the word.
Come up a lot.
No!
So, her mate is also a hacker. Esther, former MI5.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome bitches.
Right. So they both kind of have like a vendetta out against Kyvor, and so they're there to kind of help get into it. And then Anson is there because, so it's known that Kyvor has essentially a visual database of all of the Dragon Kings, which is what they are. So they know who it is.
Okay.
So he's just kind of there to hang back and provide essentially the muscle if they need
it would be really funny if Kyvor was like another word for dragon in another language.
Oh, we should figure that out, though.
Wait.
Margie Google something while I talk about this more. Okay, so they're kind of like trying to get there. And the way they decided to do this, and this at least I can give them credit for, the best way to do it is to have someone on the inside that can feed you information, which is true. So they pick out one person, who just happens to be Devin. Devin is a chick who is kind of high up in the company, but not at the very top, and she's looking to get higher up. Like, she really cares about her job, she loves her job. But she's, like, really curious, like, she has a lot of drive. So they're kind of going into the assumption that once they, like, sort of give the inkling of, hey, something might not be right, she will be willing to look into things on her own. Okay. So that's kind of their thought process behind Devin. And they also... So then they cut from them to Devin. And she just takes, like, an entire chapter to describe in heavy, boring detail exactly what Devin does during her day. Down to, like, she went to lunch and had herring soup, which sounds disgusting. And, like, all, like, really, really in-depth, and it was super boring. Which
that's very... That's very strange. That says to me, again, like NaNoWriMo, November National Writing Month.
I feel like maybe they were trying to get across, like, her life's not that exciting right now. It's about to be, but it's not yet.
I don't know. That's just like a weird... It
was kind of weird.
That sounds like a weird, like, the writer was on a weird schedule or something when they were writing.
Within this, we do find out that she really likes her job, but her job is her life. She has a terrible time with the dating world because she doesn't like, and I quote, metrosexual men. She likes manly men. She wants someone who's like, you know, grizzled barbarian, whatever, homeboy. So,
okay, that's like...
That's not word for word, but
that's
the
also kind of
metrosexual
like...
part is.
Well, the metrosexual part, but also like the manly man kind of thing. Like, what do you mean? Do you mean like guys in the US who wear flip-flops in the middle of February and still wear shorts and a sweatshirt? Like, what
does manly man mean?
And like hats to the... You know what I mean? Like,
do you identify as a man? Congratulations, you're a manly man. I don't know.
Like,
whatever.
Do you mean that Dorito shape?
Maybe, you know, that's probably it. Well, I'm sorry, guys, if you're not a Dorito.
So the only thing that has been come up about Kyvor is called Kyvor Genomics. The war against cancer can be won. And it's in India? Yeah, it's in India.
Is Kyvor
it's like
Hindi word?
Maybe.
I don't
know. Let's look it up.
We can always put that in the show notes if we figure it out. But so she goes home and she has like this huge meeting the next day and all this stuff, but she's like relaxing and then she pulls up her computer and all of a sudden the screen goes black.
Oh no.
And this words start appearing on her screen
Oh
saying,
god. Okay. Another trope.
saying shit like, you don't know, like, the company, like, you know, like, giving her stuff to look into that's kind of, like, concerning. Like, this person was, like, they tracked this person down and followed her, and, like, she disappeared, and, like, all this stuff, and, like...
So the kind of warning her?
Yeah, kind of giving her, like, little, like, tidbits of information that she will naturally want to follow up on. And she does.
Oh, okay.
And she, like, it really, like, hits home, because she, like, starts looking into things and realizing that, like, there's a lot of people that, like, have spoken out against this company, but you have to really dig to find them, and also they're all dead. So, like,
terrifying.
Shit starts to go south real fast. And so she agrees to help the people who, surprise, it was Anson and Kinsey and all them, because Kinsey's a hacker, lead hacksaw, and can do that. And so she agrees to help, and so she meets them. They meet at her apartment. Okay. And it comes out that actually Kyvor's been watching her for reasons that we don't know. And so... She, like, they give her a laptop that is not, like, it's a clean laptop kind of deal, like...
And she trusts that?
Yeah, because she didn't really have much of a choice at this point, because they've actually been, like, watching her apartment, and, like, there's cameras in her apartment, which Kinsey's able to, like... Yeah, like, she loops the footage, because lead hacksaw and stuff.
Yeah, sure.
Whatever. I have questions. Yeah, so... Then they, like, straight up tell her, they're like, alright, magic exists... This dude's a dragon. Like, they straight up, like, tell her everything.
So, is he having any sort of special snowflake feelings?
Oh, so many special snowflake feelings. So much heat.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. Sizzling. So you learn that, like, so the dragons are color-coded, essentially. And so each king...
Wait, like Power Rangers?
Essentially. So each quote-unquote king is, like, a king of a certain type of dragon. I'm 12, okay? He's king of the Browns.
Oh my god! He's the shit dragon. He's the poop and mochi dragon.
Every time I just giggle. I'm 12, guys. I'm sorry. Well, anyway.
I mean, like, then I am too,
I will say, saving grace was when they described it as, like, chocolate brown. Like, okay, that's fine.
No.
Well, that is a little bit better to me than just
shit brown.
The Browns.
Do you think all the other
famed football team,
they get
the
together,
Browns.
like if the Kings of Dragons ever got together and like actually had a meeting and communicated, like they were like, "Hey guys, the Brown Dragons are here,"
right? Yeah. But okay, so that's like end of scene 1. She agrees to help.
Okay.
And Anson ends up staying in her apartment as like a he's there to protect her since people have been kind of coming around and like whatever.
Sniffing around.
So he's
sure,
like, you
fine,
go about your
whatever.
day. I'm gonna sleep on the couch. Like, do whatever
Okay,
you do.
well,
It's fine.
It's not that creepy. Would you call it creepy?
No, not
Okay.
creepy. They have like some actual cute moments and like
Oh,
whatever.
that's
It's fine.
nice. Okay.
So end of scene 1, and we're going to keep a counter. You know me and my love of counters.
Yes, I do. Is it?
This week's counter is days since meeting Anson. We're on day number 1.
Okay.
Okay. So it hasn't even been a full day yet. Just in middle of day number 1.
Okay.
Also, I think it's time we check in with Rachel's Science Corner for a hot second. So I will be the first one to tell you, I am not a hacker.
Yes.
I
Sure.
have an
Wink.
idea.
Wink. Wink.
I have a pretty okay understanding of computers. I'm not a hacker.
Pretty okay understanding of computers.
I'm a computer
sure,
engineer.
Whatever.
I have a pretty okay understanding of computers.
You know, I say as I do computer engineering for my career.
Right. So, well, but I don't get into like the back end stuff. There's a lot of...
You don't get into the back end stuff, you say.
Well, hey-o. But I did do a little bit. I know a little bit. I worked in IT for a while, and I also did a little bit of searching.
Okay.
Hacking is not sexy, which I knew before. Hacking is absolutely not what you see in the movies. It isn't someone typing super fast and like video game reflexes of like responding to an attacking
It's not girl
hacker
with the dragon tattoo either.
No. It's not that interesting, honestly. Usually what it is you have to have, you're brute forcing things. So you are just spamming a website with all of these different possibilities to try to identify vulnerabilities.
Weaknesses, yeah.
So you literally hit go and walk away from your computer for a while and just wait. Like it's...
And you said you don't know anything about hacking. Sure.
I know this because you can teach literally anyone how to be a quote-unquote hacker. It's not that hard. There are places out there you can go. Yes, Margie, I can teach you. But, so it's not that sexy. And also, it's not fast. So all this stuff they're doing about like, oh no, they're coming up and like, I have to fight, get past them and everything. No, that's not how it works. So I won't go into it because it's real nerdy, but that's not how it works.
It's like Han Solo. That's not how the Force works!
It's not how it works. Also, it requires a lot of, like, firepower to do that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to have, like, a pretty decent computer to do that. Solid desktop, like, machine.
Like your tank?
Like my tank. Not a laptop.
Yeah, right.
Homegirl's working exclusively off of a laptop.
But she's typing really, really fast.
So fast. And... like, they talk a lot about, like, getting behind the firewall and everything, which is a thing, like, legitimately a thing, but that's not it. Like, if a tech company only had a single firewall, that's a shitty tech company. Yes.
Do they hack into the mainframe?
They don't. Thank God they do not hack into the mainframe. Thank Christ. No. But I will say we have a little bit of a reprisal of Rachel's Science Corner later when they hack the GPS. That's what I fucking do for a job, okay? That's not how it works. Sorry. You can spoof GPS, you do not hack GPS. You do not hack radio frequencies that are coming into your fucking car.
Maybe the aliens can do it.
Jesus Christ.
Oh,
no.
How many?
It's not even a cool alien. Like, that's a cool alien, okay? These are, like, shitty dragon aliens. Alright. Scene 2.
Okay.
Okay. So, Anson stays with Devin overnight, like, stays on the couch and everything, which... weren't there cameras? Kinsey only looped the footage. Aren't they gonna get a little suspicious that this chick is hanging out on the couch in broad daylight at midnight? Whatever. So, Devin, like, there's been sparks going on this entire time.
Chicka wow wow.
Well, so she goes up and goes to bed, and he's, like, laying on the couch, just kind of, like, sitting there, like, I'm not gonna get any sleep
and
tonight.
his dick is really hard.
He's not thinking about her yet, until she comes downstairs, sits on the side of the couch, and is like, hey... homegirl gets what she wants.
Hey, you know
so
what?
So she goes after it.
Yeah.
Sexy time ensues.
Is it sexy? Is it like...
okay.
It's just okay.
It's
okay. Yeah.
I believe in my notes specifically I said, Devin decides fuck it literally and gets it on with Anson.
Hey-o, girl!
Literally, guys, my notes are a treat. They're hilarious. I'm funny. Fight me. So in the morning, Anson kind of has this moment of, shit, we're gonna ruin this chick's life if she does this for us, because she's gonna lose her job and, like, possibly put herself in danger. Please don't do this. I kind of like you.
Aww.
So he tries really hard to convince her not to, and she's like, okay, I won't. And so he's like, okay, stay here. First mistake. Goes off to, like, find the other chicks that he's been with. And she's sitting there, she's like, all those people that died, they have families. I'm gonna feel really bad about myself if I don't do this. So she just gets ready and she goes in. And Anson, is like, oh, fuck, as soon as he hears. And so he, like, sprints and tries to catch her before she goes into the building, and he doesn't. So, like, he sprints through the crowd, and she, like, looks at him and walks in.
I love her for that.
It's a problem, because first of all, he's pissed. Second of all, they have video at, like facial recognition on all of these dudes. He just put her in a lot of danger.
Oh,
it's all on him. Yeah. So,
okay.
in scene 2, days since meeting Anson, still at 1. But we're at a solid 1 now, not half of 1.
Okay, so it's been literally 24 hours.
Yes, 24 hours. Technically less than, but closer. So she goes about her normal day and is, like, to be fair, terrified the entire time, because she knows that they're watching her on her computer. Okay. There's a camera behind her head, like, all she knows. And so she's trying really hard to, like,
just be normal. Super
nonchalant. Yeah. But she found an excuse to, like, do some research, and so she starts digging in, and she's going about her normal day. She's, like, even stays an hour later than everyone else, which is what she usually does. Like,
yeah. Okay.
So a half hour before the end of the day.
Oh, no.
She gets called into the CEO's office.
Of course she does!
Of course she does. Because they found out, but she still, like, denies it in a pretty spectacular...
Mr. Grey will see you now.
No, homeboy's not that, nope.
Not that creepy, I hope?
No, he's creepy, but in a different way.
Okay.
Not in a BDSM kind of way.
Okay.
Which, hey, BDSM is your thing? That's fine.
That's fine. Well, the BDSM isn't creepy.
Maybe 50 Shades of Grey isn't the most complete representation of that.
Wait, what?
Right? So... He, like, she, to her credit, still denies everything. She's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, I did. And she still, so she does not believe in magic and all this shit that they told her.
So she
she's
still
like,
yeah, I mean, neither would I, honestly.
Right, so they're like, oh shit, she doesn't actually know. Okay, great, you're coming with us. And so, kidnaps her.
Wait, why would they kidnap her if she doesn't know anything?
Because what they want is... essentially a dragon king, because they know they're dragons. So they want to essentially capture one and get it on video of him transforming. And they think that they can use her as kind of
because
bait.
They know that he cares about her a little bit at least, or...
They think so? Well, because, so there's this whole thing where, like, the dragons are supposed to protect humans, like, that was their thing.
Oh,
so they're like, well, maybe they don't, maybe they do, but she's still a human, so, and not an asshole like we are, so he actually might, like, protect her, because he has this whole dirty
he might, so he
thinks,
this guy actually, he thinks, like, okay, this dragon's actually a decent dragon, he'll come after her and save her.
Exactly.
Without knowing that she's his quote-unquote disgusting, I hate this word, mate.
He used it.
Shut up!
He doesn't even know that yet, okay?
Okay.
He's just starting to assume.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So, takes her to a warehouse, Anson follows. Naturally. And...
doesn't think that it's a trap.
Again, no, he knows. He's fully aware.
Okay.
But he fights for her, like, to try to save her.
Oh.
And turns into a dragon, and she's like, what the actual fuck? Like, she loses her shit. She's like, what the shit? Like, not happy.
I mean, honestly, come on, I would too.
Right? Yeah. And then... they're both kidnapped and taken to another warehouse.
Wait, how did they kidnap a dragon?
Kidnapception. They knocked him unconscious somehow. They have a magical druid that can do all this shit.
Of course they do. And of course it's a druid.
Druids are a thing.
Druids are a thing. Well, druids were a thing in my last book, remember?
There's a lot of druids in this.
Oh, God.
It's pretty bad.
Okay.
So, days since meeting Anson.
2?
2.
Okay. Just a lot. Wow, this poor girl's had a lot of stuff happen to you.
She's having a no good, very bad day. So they're both held captive in another warehouse because it's both kidnapception and warehouseception.
They have a lot of warehouses.
Layers.
Empty warehouses.
Layers like an onion. So the way this is set up is they're in like a big room, and Devin is in a cage inside of the room that Anson's in.
Okay.
So room, Anson, cage, Devin.
Oh, it's so
outside
extra.
in. It's weird, right?
I love how, like, the CEO must have been like, but hey, guys, make sure you get the cage out to put her in.
I don't even... Well, my thought is, so their whole thing is she is pretending to be terrified of Anson and not wanting, like, doesn't want to, like... Because
she's pretending, or she's
pretending.
serious? Okay.
Pretending. Because she doesn't want them to know that, like, they care about each other, and also, like, it's not that hard to be like, you're a fucking dragon. Holy shit. Yeah. So
you didn't mention. Well, you did mention that, but I didn't believe you.
Yeah. So they're kind of. Why didn't he just show her magic? He can do magic. Whatever.
Because that would involve direct communication. Who does that?
There it is. So she's like pretending to be afraid, but whenever they're not there, Anson uses his magic, so they can't tell what they're talking about. And so we get holy exposition Batman.
Oh,
so they go on this whole thing about, like, the history of dragons in the world. Devon's, like, her backstory is fucking...
Does she have a tragic backstory?
Wild! so, her mom died, her dad got really sad and didn't want anything to do with her, so she went to live with his brother's family and her cousin. And so her dad went off...
That's like a Victorian era kind of thing.
Oh, it gets worse. Her dad went off into to be in the army and gets killed in, like, battle or whatever. So she's essentially adopted by her uncle's family, which is great. Cool, that's fine. She gets really into stage magic because that's what her dad really liked. So she wanted to feel closer to him. So they would go to all these magic shows and everything. I can't do this with a straight face.
Oh my god.
And
what?
So she's, like, driving with her cousin to go get something. It's rainy and she's mad because she can't go to the show, and so, like, they get into a car accident. It's kind of it's not her fault, but she thinks it's her fault. She tells her uncles that because she survives, her cousin doesn't, and they, like, disown her essentially.
Oh my god.
And as soon as she turns 18, they're like, all right, leave.
Oh my god, this is such a tragic backstory.
It's magic related. It was so weird.
Yeah, and then the random magic in there.
So
like,
weird. I don't know. It was an odd. So, holy exposition Batman.
Yeah. And I'm sure he's just enamored with her now because of her tragic backstory.
Right, naturally. Well, you get the whole I want to protect you forever kind of deal. Because, you know, she needs it. And because she hasn't lived her life this far, up to being 26, or however, 28, whatever she is. I don't even know. So this is where they say, essentially, I love you for the first time.
Wait, what? It's been how many days now? 3? 2?
Still on 2!
It's been 2 days. They've maybe had 3 conversations together.
But they also fucked.
Okay, well, it was...
Yep.
No.
So.
Okay, fine. Whatever. Let me hold on to those potatoes. Everybody go back to episode 1.
Potatoes. So they start, like, just basically forcing Anson to fight a whole bunch of Dark Fae, just to kind of get an idea of his, like, powers. So they just throw Dark Fae at him and he murders them over and over and over again. And it's, like, brutal murders. So, also I'm pretty sure he's naked this entire time. Because after he turns into a dragon, his clothes don't change with him. So when he turns back, he's swinging free. He's freeballing it.
Oh, God.
So, forced to fight Dark Fae, and at some point during this entire time, like, he was able to get in contact with, like, so there's a bunch of Dragon Kings, and then there's one, like, King of Kings, like, the head honcho. He was able to get in contact with them, and they found where they were, so they're coming to rescue him. But right before they showed up to rescue him...
Did they stab the girl or something?
Anson gets kidnapped again. So we're at 3 levels of kidnapping at this point.
Kidnapping Inception. We're getting deeper into the kidnapping.
So deep. But they're able to save Devon.
Okay.
So she is,
but
like,
I'm sure she's
saved.
Like,
she's like, I gotta go back and get
find
the
my
kid.
boyfriend. Where's my boyfriend?
That I've known for 2 days. Days since knowing Anson.
Oh no.
3, maybe 4. I think 3.
Maybe
like 3.5.
3.5. We're pushing 4.
Pushing 4.
But she loves him.
But it's close. Yeah, she loves him. They're mates.
Wow. Well, I think it's okay. So to sidetrack a little bit, I think it's made worse because I was talking to my mom this morning about, you know, my life, and she was like, well, you know, your life is harder now because you're looking for, you know, you're trying to figure out your career, you're trying to move out, and you're also looking for a mate, and so
no, thank you. That's a terrible choice of words.
Oh God.
Okay. So Anson is taken to the Dark Fae Castle.
Oh my God! You know what I just imagined? Frankenfurter's castle.
Oh no! Again, still naked.
In the dark of night. Titty bop, titty bop, Titty pop, titty pop.
Still naked.
Still naked. They can't give the man a pair of pants.
Nope. You cannot put a cover on his manhood. He's such a manly man.
Okay. I'm suddenly imagining, like, them dragging him and just his butt, like, shining like the moon.
Free balling.
Okay.
So they show up to rescue. Like, they do this whole rescue mission thing. Like, they go after him. And Devon's like, no, I'm fucking coming. And they're like,
but are you though?
You're a human. You're probably gonna die. She's like, I don't care. She goes.
Okay.
With Khan. So they...
Khan?
Sorry.
Like Wrath of Khan?
No, his name is Constantine.
Oh
Everyone
my God.
calls him Khan.
Okay.
Whatever. So they are able to kind of like fight their way into the castle essentially and get to him. But
do they defeat Frankenfurter?
They do not. Actually, Anson breaks out and straight up murders the dude that's been torturing him. Because the dude has been like really tortured. Because the whole thing, so the Dragon Kings are immortal.
Yeah.
And their mate, quote unquote, once they're actually like mated, becomes also immortal.
Oh, so she's immortal now.
Well, she will be. She's not yet. She will be.
They fucked. Come on, then she's immortal.
There's like a ceremony or something.
Oh, whatever.
I don't know. But, so you can't kill a Dragon King, but you can drive them insane. And it's happened in the past. So they're trying to drive him crazy. So they're torturing the hell out of him. But it never really, they're like, we have this new way of torturing that's going to drive you crazy so quickly. And
that's almost like a bed. You made that sound like in a bedroom voice.
Oh baby. No, not doesn't rustle my jimmies, but you know, whatever. So he's like, they're torturing the hell out of him, but he managed to escape, kills that guy, and so special snowstorm. Turns out, so all of the Dragon Kings have this like mental link apparently, which is how he was able to contact the King of Kings. Like they can talk to each other telepathy style. Essentially.
Yeah.
So
watch Sense8, people.
But that's the like only they can do it. Well, it turns out for some reason Anson and Devon can. Just them together.
Because they are a fucking special snowstorm.
So they like he's able to be like, oh shit, she's here. Also, she's about to get murdered by like 40 Fae that are about to like attack her and Khan. So this has happened before, and I haven't mentioned it yet. So each of the Dragon Kings have like one specific power that's like their special power. His is that he can take control of other people's bodies. So like force them to like not their minds, but he like forces them to move, almost like puppets kind of deal.
Again, like Sense8, a little gross
creepy
though.
As shit.
Yeah, much creepier.
So he does it with Devon.
Ew!
She's cool with it.
Much.
So the reason he does it, he's like, okay, you're gonna die. I don't want you to die, so I'm gonna help you fight. So he like takes over, and it turns out like
he can forcibly do it.
No, she's like completely consensual.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like usually he can forcibly do. Oh, I hate that so much.
It's awful, but it's consensual in this case. So she's like, she's like, I feel like a badass, and Khan's like, what the fuck just happened? Like, 'cause she just starts murdering people. It's funny.
Okay.
Which this is another a little bit reprisal on Rachel's Science Corner. Do you know how sore she's gonna be the next day? They don't even address it.
But you know what? They're gonna have so much sex that it's gonna get rid of all of the soreness.
It's gonna work all that lactic acid out, right? I'm sure. Power of love.
Power of love.
God.
We're so cynical.
I know. It's fine. I accept it.
Oh god.
But so she starts straight up murdering like Faye, which is kind of awesome. But she's like, so it's him mostly, and then Anson, so when he does this, he straight up passes out. So like he's like, it's like both of them sharing her body essentially. Like he cannot be conscious while doing this for her because it's more than what he normally does.
Okay.
So he wakes up and he's like, fuck, now she's gonna die. So, but he like runs upstairs, finds where they are because he was able to escape, and she's fine. She murdered everybody.
Oh, good.
And he's like, what? And she's like, I don't know. I just knew what to do. So, special snowstorm. She has special heritage, which is why Kuiper was interested in her.
Oh my god. There's gotta be.
How we find out.
There's gotta be like something stronger than special snowstorm because she's hitting that.
She's a blizzard.
Well, even a blizzard. I don't know. We gotta come up with another
Antarctic.
One. Yeah.
Oh my god, there's a pun there somewhere.
Yeah.
Hit us up if you figure it out.
Yeah, if you come up with something.
But, so, they're able to escape. Everyone survives, which is great.
Yay.
They make it back to Draken. Want to take a guess on day count?
4?
4. But guess what? They're soulmates. They're gonna be together forever.
Is that the end of the book?
Well, so there's like some like debriefing kind of happening, and also crazy afterwards sex, because she's definitely like can move her body after doing something she's never fucking done before.
Well, also remember though, now we know she is a special snowflake, so she does get.
She's apparently way back in her bloodline is like half warrior, half druid.
So?
Yeah.
Who cares? You know what my mom calls our family tree? Mutt.
They specifically say they're like, it's so diluted, it should do nothing for you. But for some reason, it does. We don't know
because she's
why.
a special snowstorm.
Right.
God, oh my god.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Fuck it all.
Fuck it all.
So there's a little bit of like debrief that happens, and it kind of, so the book ends with them, they're like mate ceremony, or essentially a wedding. But with like...
Just call it a wedding!
But with like 5 different dragon boys and their ladies, all human.
Wait, so they're all getting married at the same time?
Apparently,
so wait,
dragon boys just suddenly got real thirsty for humans. Because this is happening in every single book. So thirsty. Which is going to be a little bit of a problem, because human women cannot bear children for dragons.
Oh, no.
That's a thing.
So that's, like, explicitly said in the book.
Yeah, if they mate with a human female, they are ending their line, essentially.
Holy shit, the dragons are gonna be, like, Trey dead here soon.
Well, so I didn't really go in. They go into the backstory of the dragons, so this whole thing is, like, this world used to belong to dragons. Humans just showed up out of nowhere. No one wanted them. And they're like, okay, well, we'll protect you because you're small and squishy, and there's nothing you can do. And, like, humans eventually, like, they, like... take more and more land, and then start killing dragons and, like, all this stuff. And so finally the dragons are like, well, shit, we still vowed to protect you guys. So we're gonna, like, they take all of their dragons, because only the Dragon Kings can turn into humans. Oh, the other dragons cannot. So they take all the dragons and put them in another world that they apparently had. Okay. Across a dragon bridge.
Oh my god, what the okay, fine. Alright, we're just gonna...
Do you remember that, like...
We're just gonna cross that bridge, so to speak. Hey-o.
Do you remember when you were, like, really little, there was, like, dragon tails or whatever?
Yes!
That's the vibe I'm getting. Yeah. And so, only the Dragon Kings remained in this world to protect humans, which is really going great.
The Power Ranger dragons.
Essentially. Okay. Really going great for them.
Fine. Isn't there a Power Ranger series where they can turn into dragons or something like that?
I love Power Rangers, but I haven't watched it as religiously. I have a friend that I could ask. Maybe I'll put it in the show notes.
Okay, that would be great.
Yeah, so that's it. They're together forever and they have crazy sex. And
I'm sure in a later book they're gonna figure out the children thing.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
No doubt.
And can you imagine at the same time all of those women are getting pregnant?
Oh god.
Wait, what? What the fuck? This wasn't supposed to happen?
Well, their whole thing is like, trigger warning before we go too much deeper into this, we're gonna get into some, I don't even know how to say this. Pregnancy issues?
Yeah.
Pregnancy issues would be the way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if they do get pregnant, they do not carry the child to term. And if they do carry the child to term, it is stillborn. So that's like that whole thing. I'm sure it'll be figured out later.
That's so sad.
Yeah. So that is explicit, because there's this whole thing, like, after they do it for the first time, she wakes up and she's like, oh, fuck, we didn't use protection. And he's like, no, it's fine. She's like, but diseases.
That's still not...
She's like, but diseases. He's
also,
like, nah, it's cool.
That's still not okay, because, like, just because, you know, I don't want the pregnancy, you know what I mean? Like, just because...
Well, her thing is, like, she's like, I don't want to get pregnant. He's like, you can't. I cannot get you pregnant.
No, but he can still.
Yeah.
You just told us that he can.
Well, but apparently that part's really rare. Like, it's super rare for that to happen, which still could happen, but whatever.
It still could I don't know.
But, yeah, it was a little weird. But he's like, no, I can't get you pregnant. She's like, but what about diseases? He's like, no, I'm clean. Because that's what you do, is take their word for it.
I'm a dragon, babe.
It's fine.
I'm clean.
It's magic.
Magic, that's right.
A wizard did it. Yeah, so they all get...
Wizard dick.
So they all get married at the end, and they had known each other for... They knew they were mates after 2 days.
So, Rachel, let's lay this out. If I one day... So, like, you don't hear from me for 4 days, which is already very rare.
I'm going to assume you were kidnapped once. Your dragon boy tried to rescue you. You were kidnapped a second time. And then you were rescued by another dragon boy, but then homeboy got kidnapped again, and you had to go save him, and you're just really sore, so you're, like, waiting it out. That's what I'm going to instantly assume.
No, you should, and then I'm gonna tell you that whole story, and then I'm gonna be like, so then I got married, and you're gonna be like...
And I'm gonna be like, alright,
girl.
you do you.
So how's the sex?
Pretty much, like, that's, okay.
Let me tell you about the Dorito shape.
Because if we're being honest, I would expect nothing less from you. Let's be real.
Oh God, please expect more from me. Please. Oh my God. Oh
hell.
God.
Yeah, so it was an adventure.
That went from 0 to 100, like, really quick, I feel like. So fast.
So, again, I was sick this past week, and I spent all of Thursday morning sitting my butt on the couch reading through the entirety of this novel. And afterwards, I set it down and was like, well, that didn't make me feel any better.
No.
That didn't cure my cold.
No. Well, you always kind of read these books, and I always feel like there's this other voice in my brain that's, like, thinking about other things because it can, and it's like...
These don't
What
exactly
the fuck with
require a
these novels?
significant amount of mental fortitude.
No, exactly.
Yeah, the only part was when I was, like, reading all of the hacking stuff.
It's just another one of those things that, like, they want to make really romantic in TV and books and
right,
etc.,
yeah,
and it's
which,
not at all.
I get it. Not everyone can be an expert on everything. That's fine. And, you know, for someone that's not me, they actually had a surprisingly good amount of, like knowledge of metadata, which is an actual thing. And, like, stuff that I'm like, okay, yeah, that is believable.
They had the basic foundation. They just, the structure was wrong.
Smattered it with extras.
Yeah.
That just were not.
Well, but she typed really fast.
So
That's just...
so fast. Also, she made your computer screen go black and words pop up on it. And...
Please, actually, Rachel, please do that to my computer one day. Just be like, bitch, be in my computer.
No.
Like, in your computer.
I'm not even gonna begin to go into that.
Why, that's wrong.
Oh, God. Partly because, like, it's wrong, and it's so much wrong, and partly because I don't know enough about it to, like, say 100... I know enough about it to be dangerous, but I don't know so much about it that I'm, like, can spew it out as absolute fact.
Right.
But I'm not even gonna begin to go into what I know about it.
Yeah.
It's not
It's
right.
not...
Oh! I didn't even bring it in. I'm sorry. The tattoo.
Oh, yes, the tattoo.
Is his tattoo on his back. Because when you're a Dragon King, when you become a Dragon King, you get a tattoo. I'm sorry. A tat. Because she does not call it a tattoo.
I hate
anywhere
that.
in this book.
Oh, I hate that.
It is only a tat. But it is a yin and yang. And the thing that really, like, got to me was at the end... There's this whole, like, he gets real deep and introspective about how it's perfect because you're the yin to my yang and all that shit. No! Their personalities aren't even that different. Like, it's not...
Well,
no!
is it that their personalities are that different or that they don't really have that much personality?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they are both cardboard. They are equally cardboard.
All right, so now we're starting to get into review territory.
Yes.
So let's go over the characters.
Right. Oh, also, real quick, when they do get the quote-unquote, like, married ceremony mate thing, she gets a matching tattoo because she's his forever.
Of course.
Branded forever. Naturally.
Oh, God, I hate referring to it in those terms. Oh, God. Like, I'm like a cat. My back will arch, and I'm just like, oh, God.
Because almost every single romance novel has to end in either marriage or a baby. Or both. Yeah. Or at least declarations of love. Unending love.
Yeah, actually, the last one I read did not have a marriage or a baby.
That's fair.
So,
see, it's a
but
rare
it did have
though.
a declaration of love.
At
least she wasn't telling a shield that she loved it.
Jesus Christ. So bad. Yeah, so that was Blaze, a Dark King's novel.
I love how it's called Blaze, my favorite pizza place.
What? Really? Is it a pizza place?
Yeah, you've never been to Blaze?
Uh-uh.
Oh, it's really good. It's like make your own pizza.
Ooh.
And so it's like a
Wait, was
the
this,
subway
was this in Chicago?
Yes.
Yes, we did go together
there
in
is
Chicago.
There's one in Cincinnati though now too.
Cool,
it's like
neat.
way out there
Yeah,
though.
I remember
fucking Mason.
There's a place that just opened up called Rapid Fire that reminds me of that place in Chicago, but I couldn't remember what it was called. So I remember going there.
Honestly, I love it because I can get gluten-free pizza there.
I remember their
really
gluten-free pizza being really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So rating time. Let's get into a little bit into the rating. So it was just real meh.
Yeah.
All across the board. Honestly, like.
Yeah.
She had, at least in the beginning, a little bit more personality as far as, like, motivations and stuff. She was a little bit like, oh, woe is me, I can never get a decent man and whatever, which kind of sucked.
Kind of like the first, not
good. But I did appreciate that, like, she actually really liked her job and stuff, and, like, was trying really hard to break into this world that is mostly male-dominated. Like, they made a point of saying that, but it kind of came across as... It feels like
the only personality point that she really has, though.
And it came across as this, like... something to put in as sort of like a cop-out of, like, look how great of a character she is because she's doing specifically this thing that is admirable, whereas everything else about her is cardboard. Like, that, if you have to explicitly say she's this great person because she's breaking the glass ceiling, like, say it, but if that's, like, if the only way we can identify that is if you say it, it doesn't...
Right, it doesn't carry the weight.
Yeah, no, not good. So... I'd say she was like a 2.
Okay, that's unfortunate.
I know, like 2 or 3, 2.5.
It's
maybe.
kind of like the characters were driven by the plot rather than the
right. It
the
really
plot.
Was that.
No, it's the other way around. It's like the plot were driving the characters rather than the characters driving the plot.
Right, exactly. There wasn't a lot of character. I mean, I am more of a fan of plot driven books versus story driven versus character driven books. So like. Books that are entirely introspective, like all throughout it, like a character development, I kind of get bored with. So I do like a heavy plot, but you gotta have some kind of scaffolding there of characters supporting that plot.
Yes, exactly.
Like, so it was, in romance novel terms, she was probably a 2, 2.5. In actual novel terms, she was probably a 1.5. Not that great.
Not strong.
And he had a little bit of, like, his tragic backstory kind of deal, but cardboard, man. No personality, except to be a hunky dude.
Well, honestly, like, they met, and then within 12 hours, they were fucking without hardly knowing each other. Like, that doesn't speak... that doesn't speak strongly to their characters, I feel like. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong in that.
I mean, one-night stands are cool. That's fine. But they were supposed to
be, like, soulmates, though, and they're already...
Well, they were doing that... But it wasn't like, oh, this is a one-night stand. It was a, oh my god, I love, like, you're so beautiful and such a great like, immediately into the, like, you're my soulmate, and, like, it wasn't a one-night stand. It was very obviously something else.
Yeah, and it wasn't built up, though. There's nothing against one-night stands, but, like, don't try to say that this is, like, something more than a one-night stand when you met, like, 6 hours ago.
Right.
If, 6 to 12 hours ago, at most.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it was, Yeah, same rating for him, man. Maybe a 2. Less, I would say, like a 2. Solid 2.
Is it written in both of their perspectives, or is just
it kind of jumps back and forth between the 2.
Okay.
So, which is why he's not lower than a 2, because he actually has a little bit of a little bit of a personality, but it's not a lot. And they definitely don't build each other up. Like, he is singularly focused on her.
And that's the only thing really he's got going.
He's a hunky dude. That's his.
Well, that's all she wanted. So.
She got it.
She got exactly what she wanted. I mean, that's a pretty low bar, though. Yeah.
It wasn't. I mean, he's a nice guy. I guess.
Yeah, but that's, again,
if I knew anything about his personality, I could say that, but I don't.
We talked about this before, though, where, like, romance novels kind of are, it makes human decency be a high bar.
Right.
And that's not what we should go for. Just being a decent human being doesn't make you a good person.
Right. Just means you're not an asshole.
Yeah, exactly. Like, surprise, surprise, everybody out there.
Right, yeah. So it was... I'd call him, in an actual novel scale, he's a 1.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah.
Now, I'm saying a range from 0 to 5.
Right.
Like, 0 is the lowest of the low. But he's, like... a 2 in romance novel terms and like a 1 in normal human terms.
Okay.
But he's a dragon, so he doesn't, play by normal human rules. Yeah. And then plot is super middle of the road too.
I would say the plot is the only
it's not even like
the driving force of the plot is just these 2 people being kidnapped, which isn't interesting at all.
Well, I will say, so this is not the first book in this series. Like, there's a lot that has happened, and there was a lot in, like, the background that happened, like, small things that were happening.
Okay.
That, like, so this whole thing is, like, the reason Kyvor is interested in them is because a while ago there was a video leaked that showed one of them transforming, I guess, on the internet. And everyone's like, oh, it's such a hoax.
Dragons in disguise.
Right? And they're like, oh, it's a hoax, and like, yada yada, but they're like, I bet it's not. And so there's like that kind of thing. There's some stuff going on with like the Fae courts and everything. So there was a little bit going on with like in the background. So there was stuff happening like in the overall world, like as a whole. But as far as like, this book kind of felt like a vessel to get things that are happening in the world out there. Like, their plot didn't really matter. The stuff that was happening because of the, like, from the other books seemed like it was more important, but it played a much smaller role. It wasn't very well written, honestly.
Okay.
So, like, I don't know, 2.5.
Okay.
Yeah, not great. Not great, really. I will say, so, again, lost episodes, and I read another one of these books. Very similar plot. I don't want to read any more of this series, but I'm also real curious about it.
Well, so you're kind of experiencing the same thing that I experienced with the Dark Highlander series, where I was like, this is,
it's a beautiful train wreck, I can't look away.
Yeah, you can't look away. You're like, what else is gonna happen in this series?
Right, yeah, so it wasn't beautiful, wasn't great, but it was a book.
Yeah, let's say this, we got through these.
We got through it, man.
We got through it.
Woof. Yeah, but I did, full disclosure, I picked this because I'd read another one in the series, and we had such a quick turnaround time, and so it helped me to have a little bit of my feet under me.
To put a little bit of, I mean, people who this is their first episode, what the lost episodes are, is that me and Rachel had done practice episodes.
Yeah, we recorded a couple to kind of get the feeling
of what recording was going to be like, how we wanted the structure to go. However, we have not decided if we are ever going to release those episodes. Because, in case you couldn't tell, this is our first podcast. Yeah, this is our first podcast.
So, we wanted to get some
And they actually aren't bad episodes. They're just, like,
they're not as polished.
Yeah,
so maybe we'll do it as a bonus, something like that.
Someday.
But we
and
have
if
those
you ever
in reserve.
ask for them.
Yeah, sure, that's fine. But we have those in reserve for now. And also, God, one of those books was just horrible. Oh my!
I don't want to reference it.
God, it was so bad. So who knows? Oh God, no.
You're gonna hear that later.
It's so bad. Yeah. So ultimately, Blaze, not that great of a book.
I also hate the title.
I
just can't.
I do too.
Stand that title.
I really don't.
It's
don't
just
like it.
Terrible.
Yeah, not great. But got the job done. But it wasn't great. Oh my God, you're right.
What?
This dude has been photoshopped into the most striking Dorito shape. I thought that, like, there's, like, all sorts of, again, photoshopped flame and sparks on this cover. Mm-hmm. And I thought that maybe just the sparks were covering up the other half of his, like, torso. No.
It's almost, like, anatomically incorrect. Like, his waist could not hold up that much shoulder.
He looks like he's been living in a corset,
but
only around his butt.
I honestly love broad-shouldered guys, but that doesn't even look possible.
No.
Like, I love that, like, oh man, give me that Chris Evans shape.
Oh yeah, no, I enjoy the Chris Evans shape, but there's a little bit of, like, solidity to that trunk. This one is literally a Dorito.
Yeah, it's like like the Chris Evans shoulders and then the model waist.
Like the wasp shape from, like, Victorian era.
Yes!
Okay, so when I put these show notes up, I will be providing both a picture of this book and also a photoshopped picture of this book with a Dorito overlay.
Well, I wish some of these books that we could find what this original image was because this is obviously,
oh baby, we can reverse image search that shit.
This is obviously a stock photo.
Oh, have given me a gift. You have given me both a quest and a gift.
Well, because it's like, because then you could do, like, a move that truck thing where before, after.
Yeah!
Because, like, I want to know what else they photoshopped on. If they're, like, oh my...
Right?
Oh my God!
It's thinner than you think.
It's so... This curve seems so unnatural.
It's thinner. I had to, like, it took looking at it twice to really get the curve.
Oh my God, I'm like...
It's horrible.
Oh, that's horrifying. Oh my God, you have to put this up in your show notes.
Oh, I will be overlaying a Dorito on this.
Yeah.
just want
When
you
you
to know
do that, when you do that, give it to me so I can put it on our Instagram.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, guys, and Margie's the one who is on the gram, so just keep that in mind.
I'm an engineer and shun people to every extent
At
of my ability. So
that's
Margie's
why I
the
was
marketing person. And
I
she
was so persistent when we became friends. I was like a dog. Like, no, you're gonna be friends with me, so
I'm okay
get
with
over
that.
it.
It worked out.
Yeah, it worked out.
Worked out for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is Blaze by Donna Grant. Thanks, Donna.
So, Rachel, now that we're done with that underwater
Garbage fire.
Listen to episode 1, guys. What are you reading?
So, again, it was great because I was sick. So I read this, and then immediately, so when I was looking, I went to the actual physical library and got this book.
Yeah.
And when I started reading it, I was like, okay, I'm just going to do a quick search on the library's app for ebooks and see if there's anything else that looks worse. And so I was like looking through, and I was like searching for like historical fiction, romance kind of novels, and one popped up that is not a romance novel, but is historical fiction. It's called A Study in Scarlet Women.
Right, you were telling me about this.
Yeah, oh my god. So I ended up finishing it, like, I read 2 books in less than 48 hours, including this one, because I was sick, so that's what I do. And this one, so it is a retelling of Sherlock Holmes, where Sherlock is a woman. So her name is Charlotte Holmes, and she has created the persona of Sherlock, a dude, because she knows that women are not taken seriously in the society. She cannot be an independent woman. So she's, like, created this persona, and she's like, oh, it's my brother. He's very sick in the next room, so I'm his sister. I will be going back and forth. And she, like, does this whole, like, charade to, like, help this. It's really good. Like, I picked it up, and I'm like, okay, either this is because I love Sherlock Holmes. Yeah. We have the complete works of Arthur Conan Doyle. Like, I've read a lot of it.
I love him.
Really
it's
good.
So fun to read.
Yeah. Because Sherlock's such an asshole, which they do a great job of getting across in this woman. It's great. But, so it's, like, it was either going to be terrible or really good, and it ended up being super good. And they do a really good job of, like, again, a woman in Victorian society. Like, her whole thing is she's like, all she wants in life is, like, she turns down a bunch of marriage proposals. All she wants in life is to go off and, like, be the headmistress of a school, because she can be her own person. Yeah. And her dad's like, okay, if you make it till 26 without being married, sure, I will pay for that to happen. And he goes back on it. So she's like, all right, this means war. so it's just a really good book. And I picked up the second one, which I'm gonna start reading soon. I highly recommend A Study in Scarlet Women. They bring it back to A Study in Scarlet in a really neat way at the end. Like, very cool. A Study in Scarlet Women. Okay. Yeah, really good. So that was good. Yeah, so thank you guys so much for listening.
Thank you for listening. Please rate and review us.
Yes, we are on iTunes and Stitcher and
Buzzsprout
and Pocket Cast, which I didn't realize because that's the one I use, and it's great.
All I think about when I hear Pocket Cast is Polly Pocket. Yeah.
Polly Pockets. It's a really good. It's like $3. But I used my Google survey money for it. And
honestly, we have no idea how we got on that website because I did not put us on that website.
Happened.
Also, I don't know why, but we're still Textual Tension's podcast on some of them. It's
whatever.
Really annoying.
Just search Textual Tension and look for the lips.
Yeah, and look for the lips.
Right. Mwah. They're my lips.
We love you. We love you so much. But rate and review us. Please give us some 5 stars or actually don't give us 1 star. It's just please don't. Please love us.
Just threaten us in our email, textualtensionpod@gmail.com.
Yes. Or sending a form through our website, textualtensionpod.com.
Or reaching out on Instagram at textualtensionpod.
Or reaching out to us on Twitter at ttensionpod.
Dang it. I was really hoping we could get through that without